Hey everyone, welcome back to Simplified by Singham. Welcome to our Python Basic series. In the last few exercises, we learned how to check if numbers are even, odd, positive, or negative. Now let's bring this into a real world scenario that every student can relate to. In this exercise, we are going to create a Python program to check whether a student has passed the exam or not based on their average score. Sounds cool, right? Let's jump in. So here is how the logic flows step by step. Imagine it's like a roadmap for our code. So we take three numbers from the user, and then we try to find the average by adding all the three numbers and dividing it by three. And then if the average is greater than 50, then we say that approved. And if the average is less than 50, then it is false. Then obviously it will say that failed. And then we will end the program. So we take three grades, find the average. If the average is greater than 50, the student passed. Otherwise, the student failed. Okay, let's write program. Get user input. And we'll create three variables. One is grade 1 and we'll get input, enter grade 1. And we need this in float because we are doing mathematical calculations. Similarly, we'll add grade 1, grade 2 and grade 3. Similarly, we'll add grade 2 and grade 3. This will be 2 and this will be 3. Okay, now it's time to calculate the average. So we already know the formula. All you have to do is create a variable called average and just add grade 1 plus grade 2 plus grade 3. And you're just going to divide it by 3. That's how we'll get the average. And the reason I kept brackets here because brackets decides the priority of what operators, like what calculation should perform first and later it can go to the next calculation. Obviously, if you observe, if you go through our operators tutorial, there we have already learned that the plus operator will have less priority compared to the division operator. But in order to give the plus operator more priority, first we have to apply the brackets so even the computer will understand that. So first I have to add these three numbers and then I have to divide it by 3. And now it's time to check the condition. If average, so what is the condition? If average is greater than 50, then we say the student has approved, student passed. But if the average is less than 50, then you will say the student failed. So you just print using F strings, the student passed the exam. And the average is average. Okay. Else, same thing, but print, you will say that the student failed. The student failed the exam and average, average. And that's it. So let's break it down slowly so it makes sense. First, we ask the user to enter three grades and we use float here instead of int because grades can sometimes have decimals like 75.5. So that is why using float is the best way when you're dealing with the decimals. And next, we calculate the average with grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 by 3. And finally, we can use if-else condition here. If average is greater than 50, then you say the student passed the exam, else the student failed the exam. That's it, just a few lines of code, and we have got ourselves a working grading system. Seriously, this is a real world system, real time application that most of them are using in their systems. It's as simple as that. Let's try giving different cases. So the first case will be giving the students grade 170, grade 2 80, and grade 2 75. Oh my god, this student is so good at studies. And let's see the average. The student passed the exam and the average is 75.0. Not bad. And let's try another case. And this guy, he got 50, 45, and 40. Okay. And the student failed the exam and the average is 45.0. Okay, so far so good. It's working so perfect. And now let's try one more case. And this guy got 50 and 45 and 60. And the student passed the exam. The average is 51 point. Oh my god, it's a very big number, but let's round it to 2f. Okay, let's use 0.2f to get two decimals. Now let's run again. Let's give same values 50, 45, 60. Sorry guys, my throat is really bad today. I'm sorry about that. I'm trying my best. The student passed the exam and the average is 51.67. So this is what we need. We want the decimals to be rounded to two decimals. And for that, we can use 0.2f every time. And don't forget to use this colon here because that is the way you can tell the computer that I want this value to be rounded to two decimals. And yeah, that's how you check if a student has passed or failed using Python. And the best part is you can use this logic to match real exam rules. Like, for example, changing the passing mark to 60. You can change the passing mark to 60, and you can even add more subjects. And you can try writing the same program but with 5 grades instead of 3 and calculate the average and see if it still works. And if you enjoyed this explanation and it made things super easy, then don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the upcoming exercises. And also drop a like if this helped you and share this with a friend who's just starting their Python journey. And remember, coding is like learning a new language. Practice a little every day and soon you'll be fluent. See you in the next exercise.